I've had a couple of conversations this week with people that are asking us questions about BuddyBoss app, and I wanted to record part four of this app series and address this issue specifically. Many people and most people that are using the BuddyBoss app, and it could be that you're using BuddyBoss app to make an app out of your LearnDash or your learning site versus learning and maybe also your community or only the community. But when you're using it for your learning site, you're typically going to have it being sold on your website. And then you're making an alternative version or an additional version available for your customers to use on their phone. So you're selling it from your website, and then you're giving them a link, or you're making the Apple Store or the Google Play logo available on your site for people to get it on your phone. And when people are using the application, whether they're using it on their phone or they're using it on their laptop, their Mac, or their PC, it'll behave the same way. It'll provide them with the same function. But now they're running around with a phone app, which is a lot more convenient to use than the responsive version of the website. Now, you're typically going to sell it. You'll charge your credit card. This all happens on the website. So as a result, when you publish your app, and particularly to Apple, because with Google Play you don't have any trouble, but Apple is very particular with how your app is displayed, the description. It's just much more picky, and you have to go through a process. And then there's also the charging of it, where when you're publishing an app or selling an app through the Google Store, Apple gets a cut of that. And if you're selling a high ticket item, that could be substantial. So in many cases, we have customers that are selling their app in a corporate environment. So somebody may issue their credit card and buy one, but it could also be that the corporation is buying many different licenses under one payment card. So you have a secretary or someone in procurement that's buying it, and then they make the licenses for that application available to all their employees. Not a problem. They'll come up, they issue the credit card. It could be that maybe it's even paid for with a purchase order. And so, Apple has nothing to do with it. They don't get any money out of that. But what can happen is now you have employee X of this corporation, and they're using one of your courses, two of your courses, or a collection of your courses, and they're paying for it through the corporation. And so they just use the login and whatever. Now, you've got these people in your environment, right? And what you may want to consider is there are other courses that the corporation didn't purchase, but you want to sell to those individuals, right? You've got, you're now shooting fish in the barrel if they like your program, and there are other courses, other programs that you make available that maybe the corporation didn't want to buy, but you have employees that might be interested. Gosh, you really want to do that. So now you're running into something where you may have a conflict with Apple. Now, the relationship you have with that client is through the corporation, and you have a point of sale area or a place that people go to buy stuff. And the corporation is buying off of that, or it's buying by a phone call or a relationship through someone in your sales organization. So you can set this up so that you send emails to people where that upsell is happening. Hey, if you like this application, and we know you have it because your corporation gave it to you, you might want to consider this. And that transaction is outside of the app world. It's in the email website world. And if you go and you sell it off of the website, and in this case, let's say you're using LearnDash and maybe you're using WooCommerce. If you're a ThriveCart user, if you're using Keep, maybe you're Infusionsoft, you're using their e-commerce system. That's where you send them. And the thing is that you go into your BuddyBoss website, and even if you're not using BuddyBoss, you're using BuddyBoss for the app function. You're going into the LearnDash part of your site, you're buying it, and that turns on the app on the phone over here. So the transaction, the interaction on the point of sale is being done on your website, And that tickies something on the website, on your app, that allows them to open up something new. Now, as part of, and again, Google Play doesn't really matter, but in the Apple world, you have a process that you use for getting the app approved on the site. And part of that will ask things like, how much are you charging, and things like that. And there's a discussion that happens when you get your app approved. We've been through that as we've worked with customers to get their apps approved. And that's where, you're being upfront with it. You're not trying to pull a fast one on them. You're telling them, this is how it works. Point of sale is over here, and this is a secondary feature or an additional way to get at an existing course. And that's something that you really ought to be thinking about. Now, I've referred to this corporate account. In some environments, they call them group accounts. Some tools call it parent-child accounts or umbrella accounts. It's all the same thing. You're selling it to one person at the top, and that person has the ability to self-service, giving out those licenses, those credentials, however it is that they manage it. And you're just doing a point of sale. And now they've got, 10, 50, 100 different licenses for both the website and the app. And that's something that you definitely ought to consider, because it's a great way to upsell, to grow the impact of your program, to reach more people. And it's something that a lot of people don't think about. Hope this helps.